Dick York left the show because he was in extreme back pain that he originally received on a movie that he did, and he just never recovered from that. And Dick Sargent later replaced him in the 6th season. When they replaced the Darrens, they didn't want to make it. There were all these different things came into being. Well, are we going to tell people that we're switching Darrens? Is Samantha going to divorce one mortal and marry another one? Are we going to have Andorra change Darren's appearance? But there was never any mention of it. One day, Dick York played Darren, and the start of the 6th season, Dick Sargent played Darren. Because the whole message of the show is that Darren had to be so unique a mortal that Samantha could only fall in love with one mortal. That was the whole point.
I imagine she's very lonesome for Donald. I beg your pardon? You mean Darren? Oh, yes. Yes, of course.
Well, I think that she only called him Darren once or twice, and throughout the series she would call him Durweed or Durwood or what's his name.
This must be, what's his name? Mother? This is my husband. This is...
There.
Bill Asher and Elizabeth Montgomery were shopping in Bloomingdale's.
And I was looking at something, and Liz was looking the other way, and she said, "There is Andorra."
And she had this big hat on, and she was dressed, elaborately and elegantly. And Bill Asher had known Agnes Moorehead from a show he directed where she played, what else, a wicked witch.
I went over and said hello and introduced her to Elizabeth and asked her if she'd be interested in playing Samantha's mother. And she said, yes.
I don't think anyone of Agnes Moorehead's stature would have stayed with the show if she thought it was less than anything that she was worthy of. She came from the Orson Welles theater group, and, she had been Oscar nominated a few times. This was a very well-trained, well-experienced, well-respected actress.
People would ask her, they would say, what do you like about acting? She'd say, I love the illusion. And that's Agnes Moorehead.
Now I think I must be flying along. Good night, all. See you soon.
Marion Lauren as Aunt Clara was a wonderful character, and it was one of Elizabeth's favorite actresses to work with on the show. She was bumbling off screen and on. And strangely enough, she was a Shakespearean actor from the London stage that worked with Alfred Hitchcock, and she's a very serious actress.
She told a set guy one time when she messed up a line, told her, don't worry about it, you're going to mess them up anyway, and she corrected him, oh no, I have to learn these lines verbatim before I can screw them up. She wasn't just like that, she was performing that.
Oh, I was just looking at these doorknobs. How do you get it so brilliant?
Aunt Clara collected doorknobs. Well, so did Marion Lauren. So it was really, she was just an interesting character all the way around.
Oh, my stars, Aunt Clara, what happened?
Well, I got the spell all wrong, and I got all mixed in the spell, and I got landed in the middle of the freeway.
Oh, good gracious.
We made this series in about 3.5 days per episode, and on top of that, all of the magic and the things that could be done easily today were very hard to do.
If Elizabeth Montgomery was going to clear the room of furniture, she was going to wave her arms, and she had to hold that pose until the crew came in and got every stick of furniture, the rug, everything out, and then brought in the next set. And they actually came up with some, crutches type of thing that could be jacked up so that she could relax her arms and, okay, action, get back in position where she didn't move. Also, watch it without a sound effect. You'll see people move. Add the sound effect and suddenly your mind is taken away from it for a split second, and you don't notice that Darren was here and suddenly he's here.
I said I want to kiss you more than anything else in the world.
Go ahead.
Samantha and Darren were the first ever couple to sleep in one bed on TV. Rob and Laura from the Dick Van Dyke Show had twin beds. Remember those twin beds? Lucy and Desi from I Love Lucy, twin beds. Samantha and Darren, one bed. Samantha's parents Agnes Moorehead as Endora and Maurice Evans, were separated. It was the first separated couple on TV.
You bring him back or I'll make your life miserable for you, and you know I can do it. I'll move in with you.
So Bewitched was allowed to address these issues that were not allowed a regular television show of the time, because they were dealing with a magical premise in a fantasy world. And I think Bewitched really, segued all of the realistic TV shows that came, and the morals that they addressed and the hardcore issues that they addressed were already really addressed on Bewitched, only in a more subtle way or in a blanketed way.
Times have changed, Maurice. This happens in the best of families.
It does not happen in my family.
Well, it has. It's over and done with. I'm married.
We had no idea at all that it was going to be a hit, and a substantial one as it was. So we were very pleased.
Nick at Night used to say they were the top 2 shows ever done. I Love Lucy was first, Bewitched was second, and consequently Bill Asher did both of them. So I think there's some of your magic right there.
I mean, so you had this incredible group of actors and writers and directors who, never fell below, the level of only top notch, and putting this incredible show together.
Mother's often said that mortals are their own worst enemies.
You just said the one word I don't like to hear.
Enemies?
Mother.
I think Bewitched was popular at the time and is still popular because it had absolutely everything going for it. I think it had the perfect cast. It was brilliantly written. It was just a wonderful show.
And still is, after all these years, after 40 years of being on the air, 5 days a week, sometimes 4 times a day. And it just tapped into a timeless quality.
There he is, Abner. That's the one who kissed me.
Don't make any sense, Gladys. He's got her. Why would he want to kiss you?
It was a peculiar mix of people who all seemed to like each other.
When you watched that show, you became bewitched by what you were watching, that you went inside that world because it became so real, because the acting and everything else having to do with it was so professional and so on the money in so many ways.
I'm married to a witch.
You came to me for advice, I'll give you some. Now that you've had your honeymoon, why don't you take a vacation?